Welcome to the first race of this season. This is the Dutch Superbike Championship. So this is the first round, and yeah, I made a little mistake by going for the rain tires, but there just wasn't enough rain. So we decided with about 3 minutes to go before the pit lane opened that we were going to go for slicks anyway, and yeah, so it was quite a race to even make it to be able to start from pit lane. At this point I have to be very careful because yeah, the tires are already quite cold. The tire warmers were set to a very low temperature, and at this point the tires already were off for yeah, I think about 6 or 7 minutes. So I'm quite lucky with the rest of the field also not having a very high pace. The level this year seems to be quite a bit lower than the years before. So let's hope I can get through as much traffic as I possibly can in the first few laps. Already I have a bit of an issue with the cap of the brake fluid reservoir just escaping. Probably didn't tighten it good enough. We also swapped the brake pads a little before, and I think the amount of oil in them also was a bit on the high side, so that also wouldn't have helped. I now decided to quickly do some calculations and looked at the size of the hose going to the brake, and I decided that so long as the rubber stays in place and I can still see there's fluid in there, as you can see now it's quite full still, I should be perfectly fine. So I decided to just keep an eye on it and not go too crazy with the braking in some areas where there's not a lot of room. I still get a bubble of air in there, but for now the level seems more than high enough. So here I already screwed up by being 1 gear higher than usual and ending up in 4th gear, not having the engine braking I normally would have, and I miscalculated a little bit how early the others would brake. At this point I'm already 3 overtakes further, so let's make quick work of this, because every place I take these first few laps count double, because the handicap in time will be much smaller. Because the field, as you can see, there's already quite a large gap to the riders in front now, so the longer I take, the more further apart the next riders will be. I must say that this is my first time with soft tires, that yeah, this is feeling really quite good, the bike, despite it being only 6 degrees out. Also good to note is that this is I think the 2nd session this year in the dry, so I also still have to get used to the track and the grip and where to brake and such, so I'm experimenting a little. But so far I think I haven't been held up a whole lot by the riders at the back of the field. It's also very windy, as you know, so especially here sometimes you just get sucked into the curb like this, and sometimes I stay a little bit wider. It just depends on whether there's a little gust of wind or not. Also I did some work on the winter, especially in Spain, on the engine mapping, and I already noticed that now in the past I couldn't exit the chicane in 3rd, and now I easily can. It even wheelies at will, so the power at the lower revs, like 5, 6, 7,000 RPM, has for sure improved. So I can still see now 3 riders right in front. So there's good chances to make up some more places. Probably after those 3 it will be getting a lot harder, and the difference to the riders in front will be a lot bigger. I'm quite lucky with everyone being very conservative in the braking. So we're now nearing the end of the second lap. I think I've now got pretty okay pace and big enough of a speed difference to try and overtake him just on the outside. Quite unlucky him with him going quite wide. Ooh, I don't think this was a very neat thing of him to do. I think my front wheel was in front already, and it was me deciding to brake a little extra because he was turning into me and seeing there wouldn't be enough space. But it was basically up to me to try and prevent us from having a clash. I think I should have gone here for the inside already. I'm being a little too patient sometimes. I think up front now is Alexander Klaassen. With some luck, I may be able to overtake him before the end of this lap. And I think he is right now in 6th position, so I think that is quite good progress for the first 2.5, now almost 3 laps. Here I'm getting greedy and already considering just taking the shortcut here, but not close enough. Which basically handicaps me here because now I do not have as good as an exit as he has. He takes a little bit of a shortcut. I'm having some issues sometimes with shifts down gears. Sometimes I miss them. New shoes. So this was the 3rd lap. So in the following 4 to 5 laps I managed to get to the tail of the rider in front, which results in quite a nice battle during the last lap. So stay tuned for the video. Well, we'll show what happens in the final lap. Can I still take 5th instead of 6th place?